Welcome to lecture 8. In this lecture, we will continue our discussion on fundamentals of electrical motors and generator. Now, to start with, let us see an elementary generator once again. This is the north pole, this is the south pole, and in between there is a rotor which is shown in red color, and the rotor is having two conductors, and it is assumed to be rotating in clockwise direction like this. Now how this is rotated? This is rotated by an external prime mover. This prime mover can be a steam turbine, it can be a hydro generator, hydro turbine, it can be a diesel engine, it can be any other type of prime mover. So this mechanical arrangement is rotating this generator in this direction. Now, to find the direction of induced EMF in this, we have to apply Fleming's right-hand rule. If you apply Fleming's right-hand rule in this, you will see that this is the direction of flux, this is the direction of motion, so this is the direction of current in this coil. So this is cross, this is dot. Now, we can understand that some voltage will be induced in this coil. Now if you close this path with a resistance or any load, then some current will flow. This we can understand. Now look at this diagram. In this diagram we will say the same thing in a different way. Now these two conductors are carrying I amount of current, and this current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field. So it will definitely experience a torque. So what will be the magnitude of this torque? The magnitude of this torque we have calculated in our last class. It will be K phi into Ia. What will be the direction of this torque? How will you calculate the direction? We will use Fleming's left hand rule. If you use Fleming's left hand rule, then this is the direction of flux, this is the direction of current, and this will be the direction of the force. So the force that is applied here is like this, and on this side it will be like this. If we apply Fleming's left hand rule here, you will find that this is the direction of flux, this is the direction of current, this is the direction of force. So under the influence of this force, the torque that will be produced here will be in this direction. So we see that the mechanical torque that is there, Tm, and the electrical torque that is developed here are in opposite direction. That is, mechanical torque is trying to rotate it in clockwise direction, and electrical torque is trying to rotate it in anti-clockwise direction. Now we can understand that in a generator a voltage will be produced, a current will flow, but along with this a electrical torque will also be produced. So let's write another equation. It is Tm minus Te is equal to J into d omega dt. What is this equation? This equation is nothing but Newton's second law. The unbalanced force is equal to mass into acceleration. Here Tm is acting in this direction, Te is acting in this direction, so the net force here it is rotating motion, so it will be torque. So the net torque is Tm minus Te is equal to J. This is equivalent of mass in a rotating body, and d omega dt is nothing but angular acceleration. So this is nothing but my second law, Newton's second law. So now you will see that suppose if I increase the current here, how I will increase the current? I will increase the load on the circuit. If I increase the load, the current in the circuit will increase. So what will happen? Te will increase because T is equal to K phi Ia, flux is constant, so Ia will increase. Now when Ia will increase, Te will increase. Now if the machine has to continue to rotate at a constant speed, then d omega dt should be 0. D omega dt is the rate of change of speed. So if we want that the machine should run at a constant speed, then this difference should be 0. So here if Te increases, Tm should also increase. What is meant here is that if you increase electrical power by changing the load here, the mechanical power also has to be increased so that the machine could rotate at a constant speed. If you do not increase the mechanical power, then the machine will deaccelerate and it will come to an halt. Now let's look at another relation. We know that, let's write it here, E into I. What is E? Induced EMF. Induced EMF can be written as BLV into I. So this can be written as BIL into V. So this can be written as BIL into R into V by R. BIL is force, so this is force into radius into V by R. Now force into radius is nothing but torque and V by R is nothing but omega. So from this we can write that E into I is equal to T into omega. What does this mean? It means that this is the electrical power, that is current into voltage. This voltage into this current is the electrical power, and T into omega is the mechanical power. That is, in a generator the mechanical power and electrical power are equal. So when you increase the load on the machine in a generator, load means when you increase the current in this, the mechanical torque has to increase. Now here we can write B into omega. What is B and what is omega? B is my frictional coefficient and omega is the speed. While we have written this equation, we have neglected friction. Now if you consider friction, the equation will be like this. So if we consider friction, Tm will be little greater than Te. How much greater? By an amount of B into omega. So here we can say that Tm is greater than Te by an amount T omega. This is frictional force. So the machine will rotate in the direction of Tm. Since Tm is greater than Te, machine will rotate in the direction of Tm. So this is about a elementary generator. Now let's look into a similar concept for a motor. Now in a motor, if you look at this diagram, these two diagrams are same except for the fact that here we have connected a resistance and here we have connected a electrical source. So here the power is being consumed by this source, here the power is being supplied by this one, not by the source. Here the power is being consumed by this resistance, here the power is being supplied by this source. So this is a generator, this is a motor. Here again, if we assume that the current is entering through this coil and coming out through this, then to find the direction of force we have to apply Fleming's left hand rule. If you apply Fleming's left hand rule, this is the direction of flux, this is the direction of current, so the force will be in this direction and here the force will be in this direction. The torque will be like this, that is, the machine will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Now what this machine will do, this will drive a load. Load means what? Maybe a elevator, that is a lift, maybe a car, or maybe a pump, maybe a fan, any of this. Now what does this load do? This load tries to oppose the movement. For example, if you are in a lift and the lift is moving up, your weight is trying to pull it down and the motor is trying to pull it up. So the mechanical force is opposing this. For example, if you are driving a car and if it is of electric motor, then the motor is trying to drive and the friction is trying to oppose it. So in most of the case, I will not say always, in most of the case the mechanical torque will have a direction opposite to that of a electrical torque. So the electrical torque is like this and the mechanical torque is in this direction. So again, if you write the equation here, Te minus Tm is equal to J into d omega dt plus B into omega. Here we have written Tm minus Te, here we have written Te minus Tm, because here Te is greater than Tm, and that's why the direction of rotation is along Te. This Te is greater than Tm, that's why the machine is rotating in the direction of Te. That's why we have written Te minus Tm. Here we have written Tm minus Te. Now this machine is rotating. Forget about the other members. Look at these two members only, that is the stator and the rotor. This is rotating in this direction. From our previous discussion, we have understood that this is rotating anti-clockwise direction, and it is placed in a magnetic field like this. Now these are conductors, these are placed in a magnetic field and the conductors are rotating. So a EMF will be induced. What will be the direction of this induced EMF? We have to apply Fleming's right hand rule now. This is the direction of field, this is the direction of force. The direction of force, since it is rotating in this direction of force is like this. So if you apply Fleming's right hand rule, this will be the direction of current here. So here the current will enter the coil and here the current will come out of this. Or the polarity, if you look at these two diagram, the polarity of voltage here and here is opposite. Here the induced EMF is having a dot, here the induced EMF is having a cross. So what does it mean? It means that in each of these conductor a voltage will be induced with a polarity opposite to that. How do we represent it in the circuit? All of us know this. This is my terminal voltage V. After that we have a coil which we represent as a inductor and a resistor, and then we represent it by another source and we call it as E. This is the back EMF, what we call in a DC machine. This is nothing but the back EMF. That is, when this conductor rotate in this magnetic field, some voltage will be induced, and from this discussion we can understand that the direction of this voltage induced is opposite to the direction. Sorry for the interruption. What we are saying is that in this DC machine, a voltage is induced in this coil and the polarity of this voltage is opposite to the voltage that is applied, and we call it as a back EMF. So from today's discussion, what we have understood is that in a generator there is a electromagnetic torque, there is a mechanical torque, there is a induced voltage, and in a motor there is a electromagnetic torque, there is a mechanical torque, there is a induced voltage. So a motor and a generator are the same, one and same, exactly the same. The only difference is that in a motor Tm is greater than Te, and in a generator Tm is greater than Te, and in a motor Te is greater than Tm. Otherwise everything is same. So whatever is applicable to motor is equally applicable to generator. So we will use this concept when we will understand our synchronous machine. Thank you.